Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Benjamin Youngwolf, back with another video. Of course, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Mashem, Kumrak, Yahushai, right? Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And it's going to be a quick video for the Spirit, right? It's called Sabbath Day. You can't do what you want on the holy day, right? It's the Sabbath day. You cannot do what you want on the holy day, right? Let's get classic. Let's go to the book, right? Isaiah, get the class. Isaiah chapter 58. Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 13. If thou shalt turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasure, nor speaking thy own words. Right? So you cannot do what you want on the Sabbath, straight up. Right? Right? That day is holy, is set apart. Holy means set apart, right? That day is different from the other days of the week, right? You cannot do what you want, like your own pleasure, right? Because you got brothers, right, that binge watch their favorite TV show on the Sabbath day. Like, what's going on? Right? You're supposed to be watching righteous videos, taking notes, making videos, right? Or calling a brother about, discussing scriptures, right? Going out there on the highways and byways, congregating with brothers and sisters, right? Praying, making videos and do all that you could do, right? But you got brothers that do other stuff, their own pleasure, right? You cannot do what you want on the Sabbath day because what the Most High will eventually destroy you, right? The Most High could destroy you slowly and slowly until you completely be destroyed. And you're going to wonder why you're going through what you're going through. Because what? You're not keeping the Sabbath day holy, right? You're talking about worldly things on the Sabbath day, right? Vanity, right? Instead of talking about the scriptures, right? Being around righteous brothers, right? That's what you're supposed to do on the Sabbath day because that's a very serious day. Or else the Most High will put you to death, right? Let's read that again. Isaiah 58 and verse 13. If thou shalt turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy own pleasure on my holy day, right? Doing your own pleasure, right? You're calling worldly people gossiping about a fight that happened, right? Like what's going on, bro? You're supposed to be in the spirit of the Sabbath day, right? In the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, keeping it holy, right? Examining yourself, doing things that's according to the scriptures, righteousness, right? Let's get another precept. Let's go to Nehemiah 10 and 31. Let's get that. Let's get that. Right? You cannot do what you want on the Lord's day, right? Because the Lord will kill you, right? Nehemiah 10 and 31. And if the people of the land bring wealth any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we will not buy it of them on the Sabbath or on the holy day, and that we would leave in the seventh year, right? An exaction so like of every debt, right? So you cannot do buy and sell on the Sabbath day. That's straight up, right? Right? You cannot go to a store and buy food, right, and stuff like that. Because that's why these other nations, these heathen, that's why they have these stores open up, especially on the Sabbath day, because they know, right? They know that we are the children of the Most High. We are the Israelites, right? The Lord, the Most High chosen, right? So they want us to sin because the more we sin, the more we're going to be underneath them, right? And that's not what we want. That's what we're trying to come out of by the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? So we cannot buy or sell. Like you cannot go to the grocery store, right, and do grocery shopping. No, you're going off, right? You gotta wait till sundown, right? Yes, you could do good. You could do good on the Sabbath, but there's things that you cannot do on the Sabbath, right? Because what the Most High says is good to do well on the Sabbath. Paraphrasing, right? It's good to do well, but there's certain things that you cannot do, which is buying and selling, right? Let's get another precept. Exodus 45 and 2. Right? We gotta go over these things because what, brothers and sisters, be forgetting, right? You gotta remember that day is a very holy day, right? Exodus 35 and 2. 6 days shall work be done, but on the seventh day It shall be unto you a holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whosoever doeth worship therein shall be put to death. Right? That's print upon tables. Right? You cannot do what you cannot work on the Sabbath day. Right? If your boss asks you to work, somebody's got jobs, right? And they don't have to work on Saturdays, right, or on the Sabbath, but they choose to work on the Sabbath. That's going off, right? Because they want more money, right? The boss offer them more money, Esau offer them double pay, whatever. You cannot let that get into your head, right? Because what we ought to obey Yahweh, we ought to obey God rather than men, right? Straight up, right? We ought to be God rather than men, right? You cannot work on the Sabbath day. You cannot check in and check out on the Sabbath day. You're going off, right? You cannot do that. But yes, some brothers got jobs. Some jobs, you have some jobs in society, that require that you have to work on the weekends, right? I understand that. But if brothers could get out of that, as eventually work on it, right? Work on getting another job, right? But you have some jobs that you don't have to work on the Sabbath. It's optional. But yes, still you have brothers say they want to work on the Sabbath when they don't have to. That's going off, right? Because what? We understand that we're in the land of our captivity, right? Like we understand we in bondage, we're in slavery, right? But you gotta know when and what time you gotta do things, right? And he says, verse 3, ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitation upon the Sabbath day, right? No cooking, no heating of food in the microwave, right, or the toaster, right? Because what people only say, oh, okay, I could use the microwave. It's not fire. It's still a form of fire. It's heat, right? Start making excuses to sin, right? Start making excuses to sin. That's madness. Because the Lord will destroy you. It will take most. Eventually, He will destroy you. He will destroy you, right? He shall give them no fire for your habitations upon the Sabbath day, right? So no cooking on the Sabbath day, right? Prepare what you gotta prepare before the sun goes down. What you know you're gonna eat throughout the Sabbath until the Sabbath is over, right? Straight up, right? These are the things that we're supposed to be doing, right? Keeping the Sabbath day holy. Because what you got brothers doing the own thing on the Sabbath day, right? Own thing on the Sabbath day, right? Let's go to the book of Exodus, going in verse 8. Classic. Right? Exodus 28. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. What the Lord said? Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Right? Don't forget. You gotta keep it holy. Right? Separate from the other day. Sundays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Right? These days you gotta be is different from the Lord's day. Right? What you do during the week, you're not supposed to be doing it on the Lord's Sabbath day. It's a day of rest. They could communicate, a day to magnify the name of the Lord, examine yourself, do all that you could do on the Lord's day, right? Keep it holy, right? That's the point. Keep it holy, separate, different, right? 6 days shall work and all. It's like 6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt do and not thou shalt not do any work. Not, that's the key word. You're not supposed to do any work. Nor thy son, your son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maid servant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that's within thy gate. So nobody in your house should be breaking the Sabbath day. Nobody's supposed to be working, cooking, speaking their own words, doing folly and madness. Right? You gotta come together and congregate and magnify the name of Yahweh Shem Shah. Right? This is another precept. Let's get one more for the spirit. All right. Exodus 16 and verse 23. All right. Exodus chapter 16 and verse 23. He says, Exodus chapter 16 and verse 23. And he said unto them, this is which the Lord hath, so like this, that this is what, so like this is that which the Lord hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which you will bake today, and sieve that which you will sieve, and that which remaineth over lay up for you to keep until the morning. Right? So you got to prepare Whatever you're gonna eat, prepare before the sun goes down on Friday, right? Because what, like we read in Exodus 20 and 8, right? We read in Exodus 45 and 2, Nehemiah 10 and 31, Isaiah 58 and 13. No buying, no selling, no cooking, no undoing your pleasure, no speaking your own words, right? So you gotta prepare your meal, whatever you gotta do, your sandwiches, right? All these things that you're gonna heat up, your hot food. You could heat it up, put it in a flask, and you'll be good. Right? Heat up your hot water, put it in a flask to drink your tea, but you cannot light up the stove. You can use the microwave, you can use the toaster. Right? Keep the Sabbath day holy. Right? Keep the Sabbath day holy. No doing your pleasure. Right? No binge watching TV shows on the Sabbath day. That's madness. Right? You're supposed to be reading, diving into the living waters, right? The scriptures, right? Examining yourself, magnifying the name of Yahweh Shem Shah, right? And with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Mashiach Kumlak Yahushai, Brother Benjamin Youngwolf, right? Keep the Sabbath day holy, right? Keep the Sabbath day holy, right? No buying, no selling, no sex on the Sabbath, no speaking your own words, right? Not doing what you want on the Sabbath, but what the Yahweh Shem Shai said to do, right? So with that, Brother Benjamin Youngwolf, most I when your brothers edified, right? Most I when your brothers have a mighty Sabbath. Right? Continue to stay strong in spirit and faith. Don't let these demons vex your spirit, right? Don't let these demons sift you out. Fight, fight, fight. If you're feeling down, call a brother to help you out, give you scriptures, exalt you, right? Don't be afraid, right? Don't be that proud man to ask for brothers to pray for you. Right? Where you're going off, examine yourself. Don't be that proud man. Right? Don't be afraid to reach out to brothers. That's why we're here to support, help each other. Brothers are here to support each other in this truth, to continue to fight that fight as a nation. Right? Again, once again, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shemash Like Shah. Most High willing, I'll be back with another video. Right, stay strong in the spirit, in the spirit. Israel, continue to keep yourself the holy, continue to pray, fast, study, keep the high holy days, love your brothers and sisters in these last days, and fight for this truth until death. All praise to Yahweh Shemash Like Shah. Shalom.